We're all perfect. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Harbour Shores.
That's my job.
I'm just welcoming you.
Thank you.
Welcome us all, because we're not all from here. We've all come from somewhere, so welcome.
And welcome to our two-time KitchenAid Senior PGA Champion, 2014 and 15. And
Thank you.
this isn't your first trip back here, but it must be nice to reconnect with one of the spot for one of your landmark victories of your long and storied career.
Yeah, sure. It's lovely to come back here. As you say, this was my first 72-hole stroke play win here. I'd won the World Match Play, but no one ever seems to remember that. Beat Davis Love in the final. Just thought I'd let you know, 1998. Yeah, Grey Hawk, Phoenix. But no one remembers that win. So this was apparently my first 72-hole stroke play win here in America. And yeah, it was a big deal. Yeah. Played with Bernhard Langer all 4 days and managed just to come out on top, which was great. And loved it ever since. Loved the golf course. The first time I played here, I think it's got 18 very, very strong holes. And very few golf courses you can say that about. Some of the best courses in the world have weaker holes or weak holes. This doesn't. It has 18 very, very strong golf holes. So I look forward to coming back here, look forward to catching up with friends we have made over the years through the Whirlpool and KitchenAid connection, and look forward to participating this year.
Give it another run. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Let's hit the floor for some questions here. Let's start with Jeff.
I want to ask you about your match play with Davis. Was that the old
Yes.
Anderson Consulting?
It was indeed.
Yeah.
It was indeed, yeah.
In all the years when people would say you hadn't won in America.
I know, I couldn't get that, yeah. Yeah, because I don't know who won. I think Scotty Scheffler won the World Match Play, did he, in Austin, Texas, but they gave him that victory, but they didn't give it to me. So I just thought I'd make the point clear. Yeah.
Good point. What fuels your desire to play these days?
Winning. Having the opportunity of winning. Being in, not competing in the event, but contending in the event. It's a big difference. And I do this to try and contend. Meaning top 10, top 5, to have a chance to contend. And that's why I do this. Yeah. And when that goes, I'm 59 next month. When that goes, when that opportunity or when that perception goes, then it's time to buy the Labradors and start walking the dogs on the beach. But until that time, and I'm not there yet, until that time, I'm here to contend. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go right here on number 3. John.
Colin, you said this course has 18 strong holes.
It does.
Does it surprise you that the scores have been as low in the previous 4 tournaments, including like 19 under the last 2?
We've been very fortunate with the weather here. Very fortunate. You see the pictures and everyone's in shirt sleeves and it's warm and sunny and no wind. We've been very, very fortunate. It is a strong golf course, but a golf course that's playable. If you get in the right quadrant of the greens and you hit the fairways and hit the right quadrants of the greens, you have a chance of scoring. Yes, the leading scores might be good, but there's an awful lot over par. So it's a matter of finding the fairways first and controlling those iron shot distances into those pins. It's a unique golf course that way. But I'm not surprised at low scoring because of the weather conditions. If you get favourable weather around anywhere in the world, you can score. Yeah, we were very lucky the last 4 times we've been here that the weather's been very, very good.
And if we have, to contend with this.
Well, this won't be 19 under, I can assure you. Yeah. If it is, I'll be speaking to you on Sunday night here. But yeah, this is, if we have a breeze, which I think is due to be quite breezy Thursday, Friday, and then get better over the weekend, you'll see some higher scores, yes. Yes, it'll be more difficult.
Thanks.
Colin, could you talk about the state of your game, but also it's been 4 years since we've been back here, and maybe talk about some of the influx of talent that's risen and joined this tour, in recent years.
Oh, this tour is very, very strong. Very strong. The senior tour, the PGA Tour champions, and also bringing other tours in with us for this particular week to join us for the for the senior PGA. Very strong. I mean, it was strong before, but then as I get older, the young guys come in. We've got Harrington now who can compete on the main tour regularly. You know, Jim Furyk, we've got Goosen, Els, we've got Jimenez. You know, there's a huge crux of new players, KJ Choi, Mike Weir, who have really worked hell of a hard over the last, say, that treading water time between 47 and 50.
Yeah.
And we all treaded water, waiting to turn 50.
Right.
And to come out here and compete. You see David Duval working as hard as he ever has on the range there yesterday. I was watching him for an hour. I sat having something to eat, watching him for an hour. And he was working very hard, you know. And fantastic to see. Fantastic to see that commitment still. And that position to try and win, to try and do well, to try and compete again and contend again. Fantastic. Yeah. So it's a very, very strong tour and getting stronger every year. Yeah.
In your game, how's the early
We've had a couple of
portions of
good
this year been?
finishes recently. We're a couple of near on top 10s the last 2 weeks. And I feel that working with Simon Holmes at home in Wisley Golf Club in London, that we are getting somewhere. We are, I feel, in a better place than I have done in the last, say, 3 or 4 years in my golf game. And just trying to put the scores together, you know. If it comes down to, generally, it comes down to the winner holing out. And if you can hole your 7-footers, 8-footers round here, which is a good iron shot in for a birdie, or you've been out of position and your first putt's gone a bit by, or you've chipped up to those, you have a lot of 7, 8-footers. If those go in, yes, I'll contend here. But those putts have got to go in. Yeah, the momentum putts, the ones that Tiger always hold,
Right.
the ones that the top players in the world hole, and that's what you've got to do to win. You've got to hole out from 7, 8 foot. They're the crucial ones.
On 3 here.
Colin, Tony Paul with the Detroit News. A couple quick ones for you. What was your favorite golf memory in Michigan? Was it winning here, or was it the 2004 Ryder Cup?
Oh, wow. Well, both. I mean, Michigan, you have some fantastic golf courses here in Michigan. And yes, of course, holding the winning putt under Bernard Langer's captaincy 2004 will always go down. But I think being totally biased, I think winning here, to beat 155 other guys, only had to beat one guy on that particular day. In a match play sense, but to beat 155 guys over the week on a superb golf course was probably the best performance I've had in Michigan, and I look forward to trying to emulate it.
A wild finish to the PGA Championship last week.
Mm-hmm.
You've had a memorably difficult finish in a major or two. What would you tell Mito Pereira after his finish, if you could give him some advice?
Yeah, I mean, I've double bogeyed the last. Thank you for bringing that up. I've double bogeyed the last to lose at Winged Foot in 2006, and he's managed to do the same there at Southern Hills last week. And a young player, younger than I was, and that was one of my last opportunities. It won't be his. So all I've got to say to him is be patient, and I say that to anybody coming through. Be patient. It's a hell of a long career, and just be patient with it. And take, if you can, take as many positives as possible. I know that's a big cliche, you know, you take the positives and everything, but after 71 holes, he was ahead. And that's a hell of an effort, you know? Okay, after 72 he wasn't. But after the first 71 holes to be ahead of his other 155 colleagues, that's a bloody good effort, and he should try and take as much positives as possible. He spoke extremely well afterwards, very mature, very well-spoken in a different language. I thought he did extremely well, and I wish him the best, as we all do.
Sorry for bringing that up.
Not at all. Make that your last question, yeah. Go on. What?
Let's go down to Jeff.
I was recently looking at your roster of victories, and it's quite a world map. I mean, you've won everywhere. I'm curious, what is the most remote place you've ever won a golf tournament?
Very good. I won crumbs. I won the 72-hole golf challenge in a day up in a place called Scafelcia, which is in the Arctic Circle. Not many people have won a golf tournament in the Arctic Circle. So that was good. 72 holes in a day, I was knackered, I tell you. My last tee-off time was 2 o'clock in the morning. And it was June the 21st, obviously, midday, midsummer's day in Sweden. And the Arctic Circle doesn't get dark, so I won there. That's getting up there. That's remote. That's good. That's not bad, actually. I thought of that quite quickly.
Walking
that was good.
72?
Oh, yes. Oh, walking.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
We don't do buggies.
Yeah.
We don't do buggies in Europe. No. That's why we call them buggies, not carts, you know. Our queen can go in a buggy, but that's good for her. We don't use buggies, no.
When you were
I
asked,
don't think buggies should be. I really don't think buggies should be on a golf course.
when
to
you
be
were
honest.
asked to play there, did it strike your curiosity?
Well, it did, yes. We were playing a Scottish... I was playing for the Scotland amateur team at the time, and we played down in a place called Falsterbo, which is the southernmost point of Sweden. And it was a two and a half hour flight north. And Sweden's up there anyway. So imagine how far north we were. Amazing. So, yes, it was a curiosity trip that worked out quite well.
That's remarkable. We're going to go down to 5 on the very end.
Yeah, hey Colin.
Yes.
The Wanamaker Trophy on the PGA
Yes.
is a massive trophy.
It is indeed.
The trophy this week is
Yes.
even bigger.
It is. Thank
Talk
God
about-
Will Zalatoris couldn't win. He'd be lighter than the trophy.
We just talked about how big that trophy is when you see it in person and just how impressive it is.
That would be quite good, wouldn't it, if he'd won it? He'd be the first person ever to be lighter than the trophy he won.
Yeah, the trophy this week for you guys.
Well, somebody, it's an amazing trophy, our trophy, the senior PGA trophy. And when I
Alfred.
first won it here, I think it was Julius. I think Julius was here with us. He said, "Hold it up, Monty, hold it up." I said, "Julius, you have no idea how heavy this bloody thing is, you know? How can I possibly?" But when you won, it's amazing how the adrenaline keeps you going, and you can raise anything. But at the same time, I think 2 great trophies in the world of golf, and it adorns my my study wall. I have a replica of it, and 2 of them actually, and I'm very honoured to have both at home. Yeah, fantastic.
Alex?
Yeah, Colin, since you brought it up,
Yes.
Wingfoot.
Wing. Yeah. Oh, super. Back to there.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. How long did it?
Super. Glad you've come.
No, I'm just following up on your comments. How long did it take you to actually get over that?
Oh, I'm not over that. Never will be. No, sleepless nights. Get up 5 times a night thinking about it. Every night. No, hey, if somebody said to me, you know, if you're 1 shot left and you know, would you like 1 shot again? Obviously it's that one, but I've had a hell of a career. I'm very fortunate. Take nothing back. Everyone says, would you trade your money lists for a major? No. Would you trade anything for anything else? No. I've had a great time at this, and I wouldn't trade anything for anything. So that went pretty quickly, to be honest. Yeah, got on with the next one.
And another question, since it keeps coming up, not here necessarily on this tour, but other tours, how much did money drive you when you were playing?
It didn't really. The money that we were playing for on the European tour at the time was a fifth to a tenth of what the Americans were playing for. So money wasn't driving us. Contending and winning was. And especially when I was starting out, I'm 6 years younger than our elite Europeans as they were, the Lyle, the Woosnam, the Seve, Langer, Faldo era. And I was trying to compete with them. I was trying to get better to compete with them. All I was trying to do was get better. The money would have taken care of itself. So I never thought of the word money, the evil word money. I would never think of that. So all I was trying to do was get better. And I knew if I got better, that things would take care of themselves. So I had to get better because they were better than me when I started. And I had to learn from them and get better also, you know, to try and compete with them. So money was never really an issue in Europe. We never had that amount. The Tiger era changed money on the PGA Tour, and Europe is still behind on that front, but doing an awful lot better than we were.
Paul Broadhurst was in here earlier, like yesterday, and was a little concerned about how the European Tour is going because the purses are so small, almost comparative to what they were in 2000. Does that concern you?
Doesn't concern me because I'm not actually playing on that tour anymore, you know. So I mean, you know, it doesn't concern me that way. I'm on this tour now, on the PGA Tour Champions. I'm very, very fortunate to be that way. We play for, if money's mentioned, we play for average purses very equal to the European Tour, to the DP World Tour, which is incredible, and we're very, very fortunate to be in that position. But as far as the DP World Tour, that's for those in charge to try and negotiate. But it's very, very difficult economically now. You know, the world is paying for COVID now, and you see here, you know, standard of living costs have risen dramatically, as they have in Britain, and it's very difficult, and also Europe. So it's very difficult. Sponsors are very difficult to find. That's why we're so lucky to be here under the KitchenAid, the Whirlpool banner, to be actually playing for the sums that we are this week and the following weeks on. Very, very fortunate.
Colin, in your early days when you arrived on the European Tour, leaving the amateur ranks, who did you measure yourself against? Before we knew who Tiger Woods was and such, who was your early stages? Who did you measure yourself against over there?
There were two guys that I really were icons, really, of the game. One of them still playing out here. Bernard Langer and Nick Faldo were my two players that. How can I get anywhere near as good as them? I never thought I could. Probably never have. Sometimes, occasionally.
Yeah.
And I had to improve. So I asked questions. I learned from them. I played practice rounds with them. I ended up playing a lot of Ryder Cup matches with them as partners. Bernard and I played, I think we played 7 or 8 games with Nick and Bernard together. So 16 Ryder Cup matches with the pair of them. I learned a hell of a lot from them. And learning how to negotiate courses, course management skills, all about pressure putts and all the stuff that goes on. So they were the two guys that I looked up to, Bernard Langer and Nick Faldo.
What's one thing you learned from Bernard?
Bernard?
Yeah.
It's difficult to say one particular thing I learned from him. I think I was always a little bit too quick. And to be honest, he was always a little bit too slow. So we met in the middle somehow. But he never played a shot before he was ready. He never made an amateur mistake about thinking after the shot. He always thought before the shot and worked it all out beforehand. And the course management skills, I learned a lot from them both. But mostly Langer, his course management skills. He never made an unforced error. Now, you hear commentators last week saying, oh, that was an unforced error. He missed the green on the wrong side, or he missed the green big and he couldn't get up and down or something. You never saw that with Langer. And it's amazing over 4 days, not making an unforced error, how it adds up to be on that leaderboard where he probably wouldn't have been if he hadn't made those so-called amateur errors that we all make and we all try and negate, but sometimes we can't do it. So he was the expert at that. Nick was more technical. Nick was more technical in the swing. I learnt quite a lot of swing thoughts from Nick, but more course management from Bernard.
Everybody good?
John?
Well,
Yes, sir. Go on. Yeah.
One guy not here this week, wasn't there last week, is Phil. You
Yes.
think he can come back, and if so, how does he come back?
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope he comes back to the PGA Tour. The PGA Tour made Phil Mickelson, and let's hope Phil Mickelson comes back to the PGA Tour where it started and where it should finish.
perfect. Colin, thank you so much. Hope we kept you dry for a few minutes here, and have a terrific day, please.
Well,
and a
thank you
terrific
very much, sir.
championship.
Thank you. Thank you for your questions. Thanks, lads.
Thank you.